Okay, here we are again. I'm going to skip the pleasantries, the intro, because I already stated that I was going to do the pressers for the people that wanted to see it. Because while my other live was happening, we missed some news that I'm interested in, that some of you may be interested in. So I've opted to just get right to it. In case anything else is going on. Save us a little time, get it done. We got two. I don't know how long they each are, but I set them up right where I think they are. So let me hop over there. Make sure my sound's good. Actually, yeah, let's check the sound. It should be good, I guess. Let me see. I'll put my earbud on and see if I hear it. Yep, got sound. Okay. Let's get right to it. Diddy. We're starting with Diddy. What? This cannot be right. This can't be right. Okay, yesterday I heard about this before I start, that there was going to be a class action lawsuit against P. Diddy with 100 new victims coming forward. And it was going to be, all with one lawyer. This title right here says Diddy, 3,000 new victims, ? Tony Busby, crazy press conference. There's no way. There's no way. This can't be real. What? Come on, 3,000. Hello, everybody. I just came straight out of my other live of part 2, and now I want to do just the presser parts because I missed 2 pressers while I was having my other live. And I just can't believe the title here, so I'm a little shocked by it. So I'm just going to get right into it and play these press conferences that I missed. Good to see you, Lori and Curious, Lori33. And here we go. This just can't be. 3,000. What?
Follow this evidence.
All right, let me back it up. I tried to get it right to the beginning.
Find the silent accomplices. Expose the enabler.
Let me back it up a little. It's very hard to get accurate here.
Here it is.
All right, here we go.
We will find the.
Thank you, Ick and Mel.
Follow this evidence wherever it takes us. We will find the silent many people and many entities involved.
Yesterday, it was alleged to be 100 new victims. This title says 3,000? ? What in the hell?
And we're going to follow this evidence wherever it takes us. We will find the silent accomplices. We will expose the enablers who enable this conduct behind closed doors. We will pursue this matter, no matter who the evidence implicates.
Turn up the volume.
These brave victims who have stepped forward deserve nothing less. The biggest secret in the entertainment industry that really wasn't a secret at all has finally been revealed to the world. The wall of silence has now been broken, and victims are coming forward. Our team has had at this point more than 3,285 individuals contact us.
What? What? Over 3,000? Holy shit. What in the hell? That's just unimaginable. Over 3,000? What is wrong with this guy? Deviant is not the word. I've never... What? He must be so riddled with disease. His dick gonna fall off. 3,000... Oh, my Lord.
With people claiming...
Wait, how many?
People claiming to have been victimized. Point. More than 3,285 individuals contact us.
That's what I'm saying, Mel.
With people people claiming to have been victimized.
How does he even have anything left? For real, though. That's like... that many partners? I'm having a hard time even... I can't. I'm rendered speechless right now.
By Sean Combs.
What in the hell?
After vetting, we now represent 120 individuals who intend to bring civil claims in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs, as well as claims against many other individuals and entities that we will name as defendants.
How does he have a Dawn left?
We file these individual cases.
The fuck? I think honestly it started with some getting brave. They thought maybe, okay, it's time. He's locked up. He's never getting out. But I would still think that there's some afraid that people on the street can still get them. He can still have things done. But I think people are realizing he is losing his power. He's probably losing his money. Friends in Hollywood are going to start or already have turned their backs. I mean, his power is dwindling rapidly. You know, he's nothing now. He's not getting out. It's just not possible. He can't be. And now maybe they feel safe, but how did it go from 100 yesterday to this many? I mean, or they just kept it to themselves. I'm having a hard time with this. I can't.
And you should know, to the extent
he
the clients
gone.
feel comfortable,
He gone and his dick gone.
we also intend to make these individuals available to the authorities, specifically to the FBI. And you should also know a few of them have already been spoken to by the FBI. Now, before we discuss the nature of the claims and claimants themselves, let me comment on the large volume of calls we have received since our first announcement.
Yep, Lori.
Even before the indictment of Sean Combs, we had received a small volume of calls and had screened a handful of cases. After the indictment of Sean Combs and the announcement that we were pursuing these claims, the floodgates opened. People who wouldn't otherwise, for a variety of reasons, are now stepping forward to make their voices heard and to pursue justice. But no, most of these people are scared.
Yep.
They fear backlash in their communities. They fear backlash in their own families. They are afraid of retaliation from the perpetrators and their associates.
That's what I was thinking.
They are rightly afraid for their own personal safety. I expect that through this process, many powerful people will be exposed.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Secrets.
Yeah, I want to know about the Hollywood people and who's on these tapes, because I've been hearing that there's people even higher up than him, allegedly, on some of these tapes, face visible and everything.
We know what we are potentially up against. And as is always the case in situations like this, when a celebrity is involved, people can be downright mean and nasty. You would be shocked at the length fans will go, no matter the evidence.
I want to know about them, Raz.
To
Good to
defend
see
celebrities they
That's
love.
true. Hey, we
There's
see
a
it all the
reason
time.
for this word fans. They're
It
fanatics.
don't matter what you did.
I actually been seeing a lot of stuff this morning on Jay-Z and Beyonce. It sounds like they should be very afraid.
You can kill somebody,
I've
rape
personally
somebody,
already been
do
threatened
shit against
multiple
kids. They
times on
still, I
social
love
media.
you, support you.
When I agreed to pursue this, I expected as much. This isn't my first rodeo.
I
But
say the
victims
wrong
who
thing
step
on
forward
Twitter, people lose
to
their
have
mind.
their voices heard should not be subjected to that kind of
Predator,
Could you
the
not?
They
highest
should not
level
be
predator.
targeted. I want to say this, and I want to be clear about it. Although we are vetting each call as stringently as we can, I always start with a mindset that I believe victims. I believe victims because I understand the tremendous courage it takes to step forward.
Also, another thing where some of these people are coming, I thought about this, people that are coming forward might be also, even if some of them were involved, let's say some of the Hollywood people or whatever, you know, or people that have no names, they might come forward and act like a victim too, knowing that, oh my God, the feds raided and they have all the tapes, they have all the proof. I better act like this or I better come forward because I'm on those tapes. They might be afraid the feds are going to see the tapes anyways. You know what I mean? That could be one aspect to some of them coming out. I have no idea. It's just something I thought of.
That's
If you're watching this, please hear me. If you're out there and you have been victimized, you are not alone. There is a great strength in numbers.
Money left.
You can seek redress. You can obtain justice. We can help you, and we will help you.
He is gone.
That being said, as stated, we are vetting every call that we receive. We have had to turn away some. For each, we ask for corroboration. For each, we ask for the identity of witnesses. We also have collected pictures, videos, texts. We check venues. We check dates. We want to corroborate that the claims being made have legitimacy and merit.
No fakes.
We have on staff now a former detective from the Major Offenders Unit of Houston Police Department who is helping us vet each claim. We're using our common sense. We're being stringent because, as I said, these are not easy cases. They're very tough. The process is hard, and in some cases, the process is very lengthy. These cases are hard to prove. Many times it's the victim's word against the alleged perpetrator. Each of these victims will no doubt be publicly attacked by the alleged perpetrators, and in some cases, the general public. The feckless and cowardly keyboard warriors love to attack. We know what
keyboard
we're up
warriors.
against.
Oh, that's
We do
true.
not enter this fray
Okay.
Right
blindly.
about that.
Okay.
I wish it was my last such fray. I wish this type of hate behavior wasn't so pervasive, but it is what it is, so we will press on.
Damn.
As I said, our law firms have been retained by 120 individuals at this
Oops.
point
Sorry.
to pursue cases in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs. You should know, in this group, it is evenly divided between males and females.
What? Oh my Lord. Evenly divided. What a... I don't know if we'll ever hear of anyone this sick with this many victims in our lifetime. Can you fathom that many victims? Have you ever heard of anyone ever? I can't think of anyone ever linked to this many victims. This is absolute effing insanity. I just can't believe this shit. This is fucking insane. Imagine him being in his little lock cell or whatever, and he gets a call from his lawyer. Oh, yeah, we got, 3,000 new victims came forward. He must be sweating, shitting his pants. Shitting in his toilet
Males
sink.
and 60 females who
Damn.
have joined us to pursue these claims as plaintiffs. In this group, 62% identify as African American, 30% are white.
And some of them they have to be on the tape, some of that footage that they see. Some of them absolutely can be matched and linked to those videotapes.
And the remainder are Hispanic or Asian. The victims are from more than 25 states. The majority are from California.
That's trafficking across state lines. 25 states. 25? I thought it was like maybe a couple, but damn, that's a lot of trafficking charges.
New York, Georgia, and Florida. I don't want to focus on the ages of these victims.
Oh my God.
When you talk about the ages of the victims when the conduct occurred, it's shocking. Our youngest victim at the time of the occurrence was 9 years old.
What the fuck?
We have an individual who was 14 years old.
What the
We have
fuck?
one who was 15. 25.
9, 14, 15, you sick motherfuckers. You know what? I saw this tape of this girl. I think her name was Ava Barone. Remember when Diddy said he wanted to adopt a little girl? He wanted to adopt a white kid because Madonna adopted a black kid or something like that. And he made this clip and the girl was smiling and he said he, picked her up the street or whatever. Well, when he was in the room on that clip, I noticed that there was other men in the background. I didn't see any kids. Does anyone know what happened to her? Because I heard on another clip that nobody knows where Ava Barone went. And she looked like about 9 years old. I wonder if it was something with her. This is messed up, man. Am I still on? I lost it on my screen. Oh, my Lord. I just got to make sure this is... Did I hit? What happened? Am I still on here? I don't know if it paused. All right, maybe I just fell off on my phone. Okay, I'm still live. I'm just shocked here. Let me see if this works here.
Of the 120 individuals who are plaintiffs in these cases were minors at the time of the acts complained of. The time frame of the acts complained of is very wide. The conduct at issue spans from the years 1991 all the way till this year, 2024. If you wonder why there are so many alleged victims, that's your answer. We're talking about more than 25 years of this type of conduct. Now, although most of the victims who have stepped forward were victimized after 2015, this has been going on for a very long time.
What the hell? Kids, you sick prick.
When you think about the fact that some of this conduct occurred 25 years ago,
nasty motherfucker,
and you wonder why would it take somebody so long to step forward, I want to remind you that many states in the United States have recognized that it's very...
He's been getting away with this behavior and assaulting people for a quarter of a century. What the fuck?
Difficult for a victim to step forward and to make these types of allegations when something very terrible has happened to them. I'll use New York, the state of New York, as an example. The state of New York has specific statutes in place that revive claims that are even claims that would typically be not able to be brought, that revive such claims, and they can be brought even 25 to 30 years later. Because there's a recognition there in New York and California and other states that it's very difficult for a victim to come forward. And I would respectfully suggest the only reason many of these people are coming forward because they see other victims coming forward. And it gives them some comfort that, hey, I won't be the only one. And I expect more victims will come forward. You know, there's an old saying that says, a lie has great speed, but truth has endurance. The acts complained of in these cases that we're going to file occurred primarily in New York, either Manhattan or the Hamptons, or occurred in California, primarily in Los Angeles, or in Florida, primarily in Miami. Most of these events and incidents occurred at parties, typically after parties, or album release parties, New Year's Eve parties, 4th of July parties, something they called a puppy party, the all-white party, all those.
Puppy party? Wait a minute, I fell off on my phone. Puppy party? Is that thing we were talking about recently where they wear the, I think Ash was talking about it, where they wear like the dog masks and stuff and they act like puppies or something? Puppy play? Like somebody we've seen with a leather dog mask? Okay, what?
Several of these events occurred at auditions. Many times, especially young people wanting to break into the industry, were coerced into this type of conduct in the promise of being made a star or in the promise of.
Wait, the second, he said 9 years old, then 14. Wasn't Justin Bieber 14 when he started? Not that I think he went forward or anything, or that I have any knowledge that he did. If he was hurt, I hope he did come forward and say something, but I don't know if he would. I have no idea, but I'm pretty sure he was 14 when he was at Diddy's Diddy camp or whatever. And then there was Usher too.
Of having Sean Combs listen to their tape or even let them read for Sean Combs. You should know that some of this behavior occurred at well-known venues in New York City. Some of this behavior occurred at private residences of people that we all know.
Don't keep dropping.
Some of this behavior occurred at hotels that we're all familiar with.
Places
you should
we
know
know.
That more than 55% of the victims filed reported this conduct
Keep
to
getting
either
kicked
the
off.
authorities, that is the police, or to hospitals. We're in the process of collecting with our team assistants, medical records, reports that were made to the authorities. And I've already said that some of the individuals in this group did in fact talk to the FBI. You should know that several of the individuals, and when I say several, I mean many, who did in fact seek medical treatment were drug tested, and drugs were found in their.
So I wasn't expecting that. I didn't think that he was. I didn't expect him to say that several of them went to the hospital or got treatment or whatever. So that's good that there's actually a paper trail that will help them prove that they can go back in the records. I know that he was very controlling, Diddy, of some people's medical records, like, you know, girlfriends. I know he did that. He did that to some of them, controlling their medical records. And I don't even know how that shit's legal. And he had some of them going to his own doctors. So weird.
Their system, weird drugs. Drugs that you probably never heard of. One in particular that continues to pop up is a drug called xylazine or trank, which based on
Rank? Isn't that like crocodile? That's like is that the horse tranquilizer one that they nicknamed Trank?
On our research is known as a horse tranquilizer.
Yeah, I read about that one. Trank.
Now, there's been a lot of reports that we're filing a class action. This is not a class action. Class actions when one or two people file a case on behalf of a group of people. That's not this.
I stand corrected.
These cases will be individual cases.
Oh, shit. He's going to get wiped the fuck out of any money ever. He's not going to be able to afford lawyers. I mean, I think he's wasted his money on those high lawyers. They're not going to be able to do shit for him except promise him the world until his money runs out, and then they gone. Which will just suck the money away from all this power and money and fame, everything he had. And he's just destroying all of his children's future right now that he could have, his legacy, everything he could have left to his family, because they're all going to be end up with nothing because of him.
Sure.
Each case will live and die on its own merit.
This was supposed to be class action, 100 yesterday. Now we have up to 3,000 people, over 3,000 calls. They're screening them all out and everything, but individual lawsuits, that's going to take forever in court. We'd be watching court every friggin' day. We'll be streaming court for years.
These cases will be filed
Holy
individually.
shit.
One plaintiff against whoever the defendants were involved
This
in
is
the
worse
case.
than you could ever imagine.
Each case may be filed in one venue like California. Another case may be filed in New York.
Individual
One case may sue just Sean Combs, but multiple other people. One case may sue a range of people.
Holy shit.
I would expect most, though, to be filed, as I said, in
A
New York
range of people.
and Los Angeles.
Oh, okay. Let's say there was somebody that got attacked, assaulted, however, in one of the parties, and it was multiple people, maybe even some other big names in the industry, you know, like some that are hiding right now and being very quiet. You know who I'm thinking of. They might get separate lawsuits too. Anybody involved, other big names. Oh, this gets interesting. More. Oh man.
Now I know this. Many of you came here thinking or hoping or perhaps believing that I may start naming names. That day will come.
Come on, let it out. We want to know.
Come,
we want to
know. We will
know.
name names other than Sean Combs, and there's a lot of names.
Oh shit!
It's a long list already. And of course, I already know who some of these individuals are, but because of the nature of this case,
Oh, they're
we're going
coming.
to make damn sure
Oh,
that we're right.
Oh,
before
you
we
better
do that.
hide.
oh.
But the names that we're going to name, assuming that our investigators confirm and corroborate what we've been told, are names that will shock you.
Oh,
These are individual
shit.
cases. There are indeed other perpetrators involved. They will be revealed when
Oh shit! The other names are gonna shock you. All right. Does anyone have any guesses? Has anyone been following this and watching other people shaking about this? Other associates? He said some of the names are gonna shock you, and they are gonna let him out. How long do we have to wait, bro? I want to know. They can't say anything. Oh, do you think that they're gonna start serving people? Because they better get out the shit before they try to take off. They better. Oh man. How come nobody else is getting raided? Do you think other people are going to get raided? They probably have proof on the tapes and stuff, whatever they got from Diddy. He said some of the names are going to shock us, so they need to do some more indictments. They better act soon, right? What are they waiting for? Come on, put out some other indictments.
that particular individual case is ready to be filed, they already know who they are.
Oh shit!
And I'm talking here about not just
shit.
the cowardly but complicit bystanders. That is, those people that we know watched
They already know who they are.
this behavior occur and did nothing.
Jay-Z.
I'm talking about the people that
Beyonce?
participated, encouraged it, egged it on.
Oh,
They know who they
man. Oh shit!
Wow.
You fucked. You gone.
I call them the facilitators of foul play, willing participants in vile conduct.
Oh my god.
As we identify them, each will be part of this case as defendants. These defendants will not only include individuals, but would also include corporate entities
Oh,
who ultimately
shit.
profited off of this culture and behavior.
Trafficked.
I'm looking at banks, pharmaceutical companies,
What?
hotels. We know
Banks, pharmaceutical companies, hotels.
that many of these individuals were paid cash. We know
Oh my
that
god.
many of these individuals involved,
He better
whether they were
sing.
the ones being assaulted and abused, or they're witnessing
keeps
other
kicking
people
me.
being assaulted and abused and then paid and threatened and told to leave.
What?
Typically paid 10 grand in cash and told to leave,
This is way worse than I ever.
and then threatened as they were leaving.
He might be the
So in addition to Sean
14-year-old
Combs,
that they were talking
you should
about.
know the defendants in these cases we're going to file will include anyone, of course, who engaged in the assault or exploitation,
Oh,
anyone who participated in such in any way,
they gone.
anyone who encouraged or facilitated this conduct,
Beyonce.
anyone who was in the room and watched it happen,
Maybe even
made no effort to stop it,
maybe even J-Lo.
any venue or venue owner who was aware of what was going
this is
on
Bigger
but
than we
failed to stop it,
could
any
imagine.
individual or entity who knew about the conduct and benefited from it but did nothing to report it, or stop it.
This is insane.
And any individual or entity who covered it up or helped cover it up. These people who know who they are should just come forward now.
Come forward now. You gone.
I would imagine, as we speak here, there are a myriad of people who are very nervous. You can't hide skeletons in the closet forever. I would expect there are many people out there right now
scrambling
who are desperately searching their memories as they delete their texts and data.
Yo.
Too late.
Yo.
Now, although these are, in fact, individual cases,
Try to delete
there
it.
is a common theme,
Doesn't
MO,
work.
if you will. Typically, the victim is lured into a situation where he or she is given a drink. Typically, that drink, reported by these victims, is apparently laced with something. Once that drink takes effect, the perpetrators perform all kinds of sexual acts on the victims,
What the fuck?
many times passing him or her around
What the fuck, man?
as other people watch and enjoy the show,
This is
and then leave the
disgusting.
victim ashamed, confused, injured, and wondering what happened.
And then they just throw them out?
When the victim reaches out, he or she is told not to say anything.
What the fuck?
Sometimes there are threats of physical violence or financial repercussions or bodily harm.
You know, even in the previous live that I just had before this, I think it was the last girl that spoke about, you know, she was drugged, forgot everything, woke up and her clothes were ripped, found out she was allegedly trafficked to 3 men for $500. It's that same predatory behavior, that same predatory thought. I mean, obviously this is to a degree and scale unfathomable to that, but it's that same predator. It's just disgusting that people think like this. I'm just appalled.
The claims we intend to bring will include
I'm
the
shocked.
following:
I can't imagine.
violent sexual assault or rape,
What the fuck is wrong with
sexual
people?
abuse, facilitated sex with a controlled substance,
Nasty fuckers.
false imprisonment, compelling prostitution, sexual misconduct,
Come forward
dissemination
now,
of
he
video
says.
recordings, false imprisonment, sexual abuse of minors.
The fuck?
Given the large volume of cases and given our other docket obligations, and given the fact that we want to be sure when we file these cases that they are fully vetted, I expect we'll start filing these cases against Sean Combs and other perpetrators within the next 30 days.
Within the next 30 days, expect it. I want to see the other people, all the big names called out.
Now, it's rare, you know, sexual abuse, sexual exploitation, this type of activity is pervasive in our society.
This is like,
rare we
I
get a
can
chance
imagine. Fluzzy B!
where we can.
Fluzzy B, I haven't seen you in a hot minute. We're just going over the Diddy presser that just happened because I was doing another live and didn't get to see this. I'm so mind blown. I can't even fathom what's going on right now. This is
really focus on this as a country and really focus on this about how pervasive this is and what we as collectively can do about it.
Yeah,
So
it's It Could Melt.
I thought I'd take this opportunity before I go into some of the individual cases and talk about some of the individual claims being made and some of the, so you'll get a
Just doing the
sense
stream
of what this 120 people group
the press
looks
conference
like
part.
individually. I want to bring forward
I
Carrie
can't believe
Paul.
it, Zep. I just can't.
She's a national victim advocate who
This is like
helps
nothing
victims
we've ever heard.
who have been victimized by this type of conduct. And she has some important words, and I hope you'll pay close attention. I think it's important that you hear from her.
Fluzzy Wuzzy was a bee.
Hello, I'm Carrie Paul.
They
the
are
National
demons.
Victim Advocate. It's not easy for any survivor to come forward. Our culture doesn't believe survivors. It blames.
Wait, pause before she talks. Can you imagine being a victim advocate and like this lands on your desk? This is like something that won't happen. This doesn't happen. I've never heard of anything to this magnitude. This magnitude probably won't happen again in like any of their careers. We're talking over 3,000. This is just, it's unfathomable. I can't think of, I'm lost for words repeatedly. I'm stunned, rendered silent.
Questions them. Instead of showing support, many choose to enable abusers. The media runs stories asking why it took so long for survivors to come forward. instead of asking what barriers exist.
I don't. I wouldn't ask. Look at the power he had.
We also don't equip law enforcement with the ability to handle sexual assault crimes. Lack of funding translates to lack of training. We have officers in the field that don't know what to say to a rape victim, and also an alarming amount of backlogged, untested rape kits. Prosecutors are focused on what they can prove in a case, and if so, how to do that at time of trial. Advocates and staff are stretched thin with growing caseloads in the criminal justice system. Most people don't know how the criminal justice works in general. There isn't enough staff or resources to adequately explain the entire process to every victim and survivor. Our culture works against victims and survivors every day, and abusers know this. Abusers work themselves into positions of power, building a public image that is trusted and financially large enough to make people look away. Abusers are unfortunately very skilled at power and control, the foundation of abuse. They seek victims who are vulnerable, such as children, their employees, and their intimate partners, all who see a different version than the public does, all who rely on the abuser in some way. And for those that do come forward and aren't believed, face questions like, are you sure it happened that way? Were you drinking? What were you wearing? All of this creates an environment that enables abusers to continue abusing them and future victims. To the survivors that have come forward despite not being believed at some point in time, your courage is like nothing we have seen before. We thank you for coming forward for yourself and all survivors. And lastly, I want all survivors that are watching this to know we believe you and we support you. Thank you.
I want you now to hear from my co-counsel, Andrew Van Arsdale. We've created a sexual abuse hotline, and I want him to visit with us just a few moments about how that works and the kind of volume of calls we've received.
Thank you, Tony. Like Tony said, my name is Andrew Van Arsdale. I'm the managing partner of ABA Law Group. We have offices in California, Montana, and North Carolina. To build off of what you just so well said, it's very hard to come forward. And given what we've experienced the past 10 days is really unprecedented in my career, at least. We represent thousands of survivors of abuse, and never, ever in a 10-day period have we seen over 3,000 people come forward.
3,000?
Or we've confirmed and decided to investigate and represent 120 people while we're continuing to work through another 100 plus cases to prove them up, to validate what had happened here, and to hold those that are responsible accountable. And so like Tony said, we've set this up. It's 1-800-200-7474. I have a team of people standing by literally. If you know that this happened to someone and you have information about it, please contact us. If this happened to you, come forward. There's attorney-client privilege here. What you tell us is in confidence. Yes, we'll have to go out and build your case, but we will protect you. And the other thing that I want to say is the pattern and practice of this, again, is unprecedented. Over 30 plus years of the same sort of events happening.
That's insane, bro. This sounds like worse than Epstein.
Circle, reportedly, and horrible things happening to them as a result. And from talking to these people that have come forward these past 10 days, I can tell you unequivocally that because the federal government did what it needed to do and indicted this man, that they put him in jail and a judge kept him in jail, they tell me directly, this validates my feelings. For so long, I thought it was my fault. What is it about me that put myself in that scenario? What was I wearing at the time? What did I do to be subjected to such horrific treatment at these people that I was trying to trust? Well, we know now it was not your fault. You were victimized by a group of powerful people that operated for 30 plus years, taking advantage of their wealth and the power that they held within the music industry. So again, thank you to every single person that has come forward and contacted our office over the past 10 days. If you or someone you know suffered the same sort of treatment, please contact us at the number behind me and we will help you. Thank you.
I think it speaks to how important this issue is in the United States and frankly internationally, that we have reputable people here that want to provide kind of information that I think victims need to hear, witnesses need to hear, the public needs to hear. Let me introduce to you now Olivia Rivers from the Texas Association Against Sexual Assault, and let her visit with you a few moments about these types of cases.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Q Olivia Rivers. I am just served my 6th year as the board chair for the Texas Association Against Sexual Assault. I'm also the CEO for the Bridge Over Troubled Waters, which is a local rape crisis center here in the Houston area. So thank you for being here as we address these heinous crimes. Sexual assault is not just a crime of violence against the body. It's an assault on the very essence of human dignity and safety. It shatters lives, it destroys confidence, and all too often, it leaves survivors feeling like they are voiceless, isolated, and vulnerable. The reality for many survivors is that coming forward to report their assault is one of the most difficult and daunting tasks that they will ever have to do. And for some, it may take days, months, or even years to speak up if they ever do. The reasons for this have been mentioned, but include the fear of being disbelieved, being blamed or judged, and of course, retaliation. The trauma of the assault itself being compounded by the trauma of the criminal justice.
Lost them in audio.
Where survivors must relive their experience in order to seek justice.
Somebody messed up.
And these feelings and fears are further exacerbated when the allegations are against prominent figures in the entertainment industry.
Try to bump it up, but they messed up the audio.
Involving powerful figures often attract significant media attention, which can deter victims from coming forward due to fear of public exposure or scrutiny. The intense focus on these high-profile cases can make survivors feel that their personal lives are being put under a microscope, causing further emotional distress. These allegations mentioned here today, as reported, reflect deeply troubling claims that deserve thorough investigation, and no individual, regardless of their stature, is above the law or public accountability. Sadly, the statistics paint a very disturbing picture. According to the National Sexual Violence Resource Center, 1 in 3 women and 1 in 6 men.
Crazy, the Emmett Till thing.
Sexual violence
Yeah.
in lifetime. In the U.S. alone,
Didn't she admit it on her deathbed or like years later?
1,000 victims of rape or sexual assault every year, and these numbers barely scratch the surface, as sexual violence remains one of the most underreported crimes. But the numbers that follow tell an even more troubling story. Only about 23% of sexual assaults are reported to law enforcement. Of those, just 5% lead to an arrest, and even fewer, less than 1% of reported cases ever result in a conviction, which is a devastating gap between the crime and the justice that survivors deserve. I want to briefly focus on our state here in Texas. According to the Texas Association Against Sexual Assault, 6.3 million Texans, men and women, will experience some form of violence. That's every 2 minutes, someone is sexually assaulted. Meaning, during the course of this press conference, around 60 individuals will forever be changed by this violence. And those are just a few of the victims. Obviously, this is unacceptable. We cannot allow this cycle of silence and inaction to continue. We have to create an environment where survivors feel empowered to come forward, where they are met with empathy and respect and support, not skepticism and blame. We have to ensure that our legal system is equipped to handle these cases with the seriousness they deserve, and survivors have access to the resources that they need beyond the legal courtroom. We have to address the root causes of this epidemic: prevention, awareness, and fostering environments where respect, consent, and safety are non-negotiable values. Additionally, support for survivors has to be holistic. They have to have access to counseling, medical services, legal advocacy, and of course, community support, regardless of whether they choose to report or not. To every survivor who has come forward, your bravery is an inspiration. To those who are still grappling with their decision, know that you are not alone and that your voice matters. Your story matters. We see you, we believe you, and we are committed to fighting for a future where sexual violence is no longer tolerated and where justice is not the exception, but the standard. Thank you.
I want to visit with you real quickly before we close here about some specific instances without disclosing the victim's name. You probably know that depending on the age of the victim, you can file these cases, these individual cases, under Jane Doe or John Doe. Each state is different in that respect. Typically, there is a balancing test, like the public's right to know the name of the victim and plaintiff versus the confidentiality and the safety of the plaintiff. So we'll have to struggle with that with each one of these cases. Our intention, of course, is to, like we always do, file these cases under pseudonym until the court tells us otherwise. But let me share with you a few, just kind of give you a sense of the kind of cases and the kind of instances that people are calling and reporting that we are trying to corroborate, vet. And these are the ones that we've already corroborated, vetted, and collected evidence on. One individual who was 22 years at the time she was assaulted said that the typical MO at one of these parties that have been widely discussed in the press was that when you are handed a drink, and now we know that the drink is laced with something, if you refuse to drink it, you were kicked out of the party. And let that sink in for a minute.
Wow.
The admission to this party,
You got to drink it.
was that you had to drink the chosen drink that was handed to you. And now we know that in most cases, I would say 90% of the cases, these individuals were drugged with some sort of drug. That was kind of the MO. Another instance, this individual who was 9 years old at the time was taken to an audition in New York City with Bad Boy Records. Other boys were there to audition as well. All of them were trying to land a record deal. All of them were minors. This individual was sexually abused, allegedly by Sean Combs and several other people at the studio in the promise to both his parents and to him himself of getting a record deal. Another instance, another minor, told allegedly by Sean Combs that he would make him a star, but needed to visit with him in private about it, away from his parents. Once they were in a private area, allegedly Mr. Combs made the victim perform oral sex upon him. Another incident, an individual 15 years old at the time, flown to New York City to attend a party, was drugged, and then taken into a private room, allegedly in the presence of Mr. Combs, where this female individual minor was raped, and then other individuals took turns raping.
Wow. Wow.
Another individual, 26 at the time of the occurrence, was picked up by, allegedly, by Mr. Combs and several other people in a black SUV from the airport, was given one drink in the SUV, and then literally woke up the next day not knowing what had happened, but with pain and damage to both her vagina and her anus, where she then went to the hospital. She was missing her underwear and her shoes. Another instance, individual, this time not a minor, was attended a group dinner, allegedly with Sean Combs in Miami. She wasn't drinking because she was pregnant. but whatever she drank at the table, apparently, at least according to her, was laced with something. She blacked out, and she woke up in the same bed, again, allegedly, with Mr. Combs in his mansion in Miami. Her vagina and her anus were torn and sore.
Radio woman.
And I could go on. I mean, literally, you're sensing a theme here. It's the same theme, and it all involves some sort of drug. One instance, an individual who was 20 years old at the time was asked to attend, just saw her on the street, asked to attend a party in a hotel. She was flattered, went to the party, was given one drink and doesn't remember anything else. Ultimately, was so messed up, went to the hospital where they found cocaine and this horse tranquilizer in her blood system. I'm going to give you a quote from a very young man who told us over the phone about his experience and all the things that happened to him. He says allegedly at the hands of Sean Diddy Combs and his friends in the effort to try to sign a record deal. This was kind of what he was told he would have to do. His quote is, "Had he not been in power, I feel like I could have been something great. I quit the industry because of what Sean Combs did to me." And that's really what it comes down to. We are pursuing this, asking you to support this effort, to encourage witnesses and victims to come forward and bring your evidence so we can continue to break down this wall of silence and we can continue to have these stories heard. This is the beginning of what I hope to be a national dialogue. This type of sexual assault, sexual abuse, and sexual exploitation should never happen in the United States or anywhere else. This should have never been allowed to go on for so long. This conduct has created a mass of individuals who are injured, scared, and scarred. If you are one of those individuals, we ask you to reach out. If not to us, to someone you trust. If you are someone who witnessed any of these events, we ask you to reach out. Your name can remain confidential. With that, I'll take a few questions, not many, maybe two, but if you have a question, I'll be pleased to try to answer it.
How many minors are making accusations in total, and are the feds aware of the allegations of minors in the case?
I don't know what the feds are aware of, okay, but I do know there's 25 out of this 120. I will say this to that point. We welcome the FBI or any authority who wants to come to us, and we're going to make that available to these victims because I think that's important. My suspicion is, based on talking with these folks, is that the FBI is just not aware of these people. The FBI has talked to some of these folks, and I'm going to try to encourage the victims to, in fact, talk to the FBI because I think they have some very important things to say.
So were all of the children auditioning because they were musicians, or were any of them kids of employees or things like that?
All seeking either TV or some sort of music career with promises of, we're going to make you a star. Instead, basically did things to them such that they don't want to have anything to do with the entertainment industry ever. All right, guys. Thank you very much for your attention. We're going to go now. Thank you.
Okay.
Any file here? There's a few plaintiffs here, but I don't anticipate filing here. Probably in New York City.
Very wild minors. I forgot how many said, 20 something, 25 minors, something like that. Minors, over 100 people. I think you said 120 some people. That the clients that they have. They said over 3,000 people have called them alleging that they're victims. And they're not doing a class action lawsuit. They're filing individual claims.
Insane.
Wild.
This is absolute insanity. Way worse than I ever thought could happen.
Oh, all right.
Wow.
This is what we're gonna do next. Booter wants to call, but I want to do the sheriff.
Insane, insane. Oh my goodness. Let me hop on to the next one. Go to the next presser. This one is obviously the judge and sheriff incident. I think I got it in the right spot, but let me just double check. Because I was doing it when I had my other live going right before this. I think it's in, let's check it out. That's like, I'll be thinking about that all day. I can't even, I'm not going to be able to get that out of my mind anytime soon. I'm just going to make sure it's switched over. I think my phone's a little delayed. Okay, let's give it a try.
An hour or so.
No, he's not ever. Just no way.
The sheriff. So I mean, I don't know. The claims are that the judge was supposedly sleeping with this guy's teenager. I think.
I mean, I've heard similar. That's what I heard when it first came out. Similar rumors such as that, and that would be a motive to do something like that because they were allegedly friends.
She was 16 or 17 or 16 going on 17.
Why?
And you know, I don't know. I wonder if it's true.
This world is a screwed up place.
The claims are supposedly that he went into the judge's phone and saw his daughter's phone number.
Oh my God.
I mean, I don't know if that was it or was there more to it. I mean, it's odd if he did have the number, but these two guys were friends. I think they had lunch that day or something, and earlier before he shot him. What is going on? 124. What the heck?
Okay, so we're just waiting for court. I'm going to try to get on StreamYard on my phone again so I can read the comments. It keeps booting me off since I started this stream.
So his daughter was banging the cop's wife and daughter? What? No, the sheriff's daughter. The rumor was, but I don't know if it's true. The rumor was that his daughter was sleeping with the judge or something.
Yeah.
Supposedly, I don't know, you know. And they make mention of it that supposedly he had seen. Oh, there he is, right there.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see, I guess.
Full screen. There he is, walking in the courtroom. Make sure my sound is working. Just checking. I don't hear nothing yet. That's the sheriff. I shot the sheriff.
I was literally just gonna sing that. That is so weird. Even though it's the other way around, but I was gonna just sing the same thing. You stole my words, Mel.
So I don't know if he was sleeping. If the judge was sleeping with this guy's daughter, you think he's right in what he did? Would you feel? I don't know. What do you think? We need to see proof. We got to see some evidence. Need to see proof. You know, I don't know what's going on, bro.
This is freaking crazy.
Fast forward a little bit.
I can't get over the last
And
live.
he pleaded not guilty, by the way.
All right. Okay, so are they going to, Chica, are they going to give any details of why? Is there going to be any discussion of motive? Or is this just like, do you want to tell me anything that goes on here? We're hearing trigger warning. Is there going to be more? I mean, I don't think it can get worse than what we just heard about the Diddy stuff. I'm going to be shooketh all day about that, for real. Like, I won't even get over that all day. That alone. And then even the other stuff that I streamed earlier, I did a part 2 to Bree Powers. And that woman, to me, is very predatorial, worse than anyone we've ever seen on YouTube. And a lot of people are still coming out, afraid to come out about her. Maybe more victims will come forward to Bree Powers when she gets sent to jail. I don't know. I think people really are scared of her. But anyways, okay, she says trigger warning. They do show him shooting, but are they going to show blood and stuff? They're going to show it on this? Is it short? Let me see. Oh, I thought it was going to be short. Is this the end of it over here? Is it the end when they show the fish tank? All right. All right, so just, if you're here, trigger warning. I don't know what's going to happen, but I hear they're going to show it. I don't want to see any Kind of. Can you tell me maybe if you think of it when it's coming up so I don't look?
The wealth of Kentucky.
No
Just gonna fast
pressure.
forward it.
No pressure or
There
anything.
it is right there.
I'll try to figure it out.
Oh, whoa, Cookie. Happy to find your mail. I couldn't find a copy with sound.
I just
Shit,
don't want.
I don't have sound either.
I just kind of don't want to see the image if I don't have to.
Well, I'm waiting. I'm sure the sound will come. Sometimes they have the audio muted. Don't tell me the whole thing is muted.
Fluzzy B, I'll try to stop it too.
Yeah, they got sound.
Back to
Just ahead.
pressers. Get the presser parts and some, streaming from other people's streams that already, did whole full shows. But I just wanted to clip only just these parts, just the court parts, because I've already been on quite some time here today. I've been streaming a long ass time, so I can't get over this Diddy shit. I'm like really
No, Silverback.
I'm shook.
No, what are you talking about? Daughter and wife? No. There's rumors that his wife slept with the judge too?
Don't tell me.
No, I into that. Can you?
If that even comes out, that would be not. And there's no reason but motive that he would flip a switch like that.
I mean, no.
I got shit to do.
It's on video.
I
How
have to
can
be
you say not
productive
guilty?
so I can.
The only thing I can think he's gonna say maybe a crime of passion.
I
like he
gotta
went
start
nuts
making stuff for sales for like
crazy,
the holidays.
and he just lost his mind. Some people try to do that,
But I do like marathons.
Oh man,
I'm not good at being productive during them though, as much as I want to be, because I keep
I'm
going to
not
talk.
possible.
I can't shut up and not talk during them. I like to think I'm going to do this, I'm going to paint this, but no, because I'm always hitting the mic button because I always have shit to say.
Well, the good thing is we get to skip past all the silence.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what I do like this part about streams already just happening because you can go right to the parts.
There we go.
Thank you, sir. You may
Oh, shit. I just got sent breaking news. Hold on. Wait a second. This is something else. No fucking way. Can the person that texts me please send me any kind of proof on that? All right, I'll hold off on my breaking news until a little more confirmation because this is fucking crazy. Send me a little bit of proof, please. I'm looking at your text right now, dying.
I'm going to call the case of Commonwealth versus Sean.
I'm definitely going to report that here, though. So please send me anything you got on this.
Preliminary hearing. Is the Commonwealth ready?
Well,
Is the defense ready?
Oh my
All
god!
right, call your first witness.
What did she do?
All right, click, Mr. Stamper, if you would.
I'm dead.
Raise your right hand for me. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, self of God?
Yes, sir, I do.
Thank you. You may be seated.
oh, Carly, that's a crazy, interesting thought or theory. Maybe his wife was cheating and using the daughter's phone to contact the judge. Ooh.
You said your name correct?
Clayton Stanford.
The judge looks like a weirdo to me, but still we have to see what's what.
Yeah, what judge is this? This is
ClaytonStanford.
All right, let me make this bigger. So I think this is not a fill-in judge, but he had to go to a different county, like a couple counties over, to the best of my knowledge. And I'm watching my phone like a hawk now. Sorry.
EMPER.
Tell the court how you're employed.
I'm working on it, Michelle.
sorry.
How are you
It won't
employed?
be
I'm a
long.
detective with the Kentucky State Police assigned to Post 13 Hazard.
How long have you been employed in
In Kentucky. What's going on with Kentucky? Another Kentucky case, man? Kentucky.
that passage?
I've been
Okay, all right, I guess other people are already talking about it, so I'll just say what it is. Let me go over to what. Okay, do y'all people, some of you might know that already. Do you guys know about Tamori? Do you remember Tamori, the scammer? The one that did the shit bucket, and then I streamed some of her stuff about shit bucket, and then she tried to private it, so she must have been watching, or somebody went and told Tamori, Sarah's streaming you. Anyway, so Tamori, breaking YouTube news, I'll say, Tamori has been arrested She's currently sitting in Lexington, South Carolina jail, extradited back to Horry County, Myrtle, North Carolina. Well, I didn't know. I don't know, like, documented stuff. Okay, do you know to her? Find it. It's breaking me. And I guess they're going to send me a link. Ha! I wonder what she did. Haha, Tamori. You gone? She gone. Everybody gone.
With KSP, a little over 24 years, detective since 2006.
And have you, in the performance of your duties as detective police, have you investigated the death of Kevin Mullins?
Yes, sir, I did.
And can you tell us on what day it was?
It was September 19th, 2024.
In investigation of that death, were you able to determine who killed Kevin Mullins?
Yes.
Hey, Mr. A.
And how were you able to do that?
Video surveillance.
And did you retrieve surveillance footage?
Shut up.
You're not just the video footage.
All right. All right, I'm gonna check.
Approach the bench.
Says, am I covering the whole Sarah Boone? I'd like for the trial. I think there's Monday I have to take my mother to the doctor's office. I have to drop her off. So I don't know. I don't trial starts. I gotta look at this. I know something's happening. Yeah, I think my calendar says next Monday. Cake.
If they're pausing, I'm fast forwarding. I ain't got time for shit. Let me see.
Yeah.
That long. I gotta skip very strategically.
You ready to see?
Come straight there.
All right, go ahead.
I know. Makes no sense.
Oh. Oh my God. They show it right there. This is the sheriff shooting the judge. Take it back a little bit. I guess we'll. Oh, yeah. Wow. Multiple times while he's down. Holy wow. And he's kind of scrambling and shooting him again. He's still moving around.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Oh my God, bro.
And this guy pled not guilty.
What the
And there's
hell?
somebody in the
You're definitely
courtroom
guilty. I got
getting emotional. Maybe that's family.
no.
Oh my God. This guy, like, he really.
That was like cold
really
blooded. I just had to
wanted
look
to
away.
make sure this guy was dead.
No, that was cold blooded.
And the families they're watching, I guess.
That's fucked up, man. I know. I had to put I was putting my hand up, peering over my sleeve.
That was Sheriff Mickey Steins and Judge Kevin Mullins.
And also,
Well, he died hiding for his life. That's horrible.
Sheriff Steins.
and then Judge was also in his black robe.
Yes.
He might even have lived if he didn't jump over around the corner and do it again.
Do you know what portion of the courthouse that is?
That is
Finish
the
the
judge's
job.
chambers
And where's that located at, physically located?
That's,
in the Letcher County Courthouse.
yeah, you were right. Oh, I gotta
So
look
how
at
you
something
want?
else.
Would you like to cross-examine the witness?
What the fuck?
They were like, that's all we have. Here's the video. That's all we got. That's all we need.
Oh, looks like Bruce
Cross-examination.
Lee.
That was a short clip that was played there. How long do you believe that clip was?
That we just watched?
Yes,
Just 10 seconds, 15 seconds.
15 seconds. In fact, the video that was taken in the judge's chambers between the meeting between Sheriff Steins and Judge Mullins, it's my understanding that video lasted much longer, correct?
Yes,
Okay. And have you had an opportunity to review the video
I have.
of the prior incident?
I have.
And can you describe for us what happened immediately prior to the clip that we saw?
Sheriff Steins uses his telephone to make some phone calls. He then borrows Judge Mullins' cell phone and appears to make a call on that. And that led to what you just saw.
We must have found something on the phone.
So this is the whole thing where they're saying that like he looked at the judge's phone and supposedly his daughter's contact number was there. I don't think I saw. Of course, viewer discretion advised. YouTube, don't even try to come for me because you're gonna have to come for law and crime first, right? They always got this weird thing for some, but not for all. Don't try to.
So it seems apparent, or so far from what we've been told, something in that phone set him off. He borrowed his phone, saw something in that phone. It seems like because then he went psycho.
Gotta come from me.
It?
Yeah, you gotta have to target law and crime first. But
what did he see that
this
made
is not
him
the
do
full
this?
video, and we can't see like. I don't see the two.
Is this like
cell phones?
crime of
This is
passion?
after the fact.
What did you see, bro?
You know, but he shot him multiple times.
You gotta know you're going to
You
jail.
don't see blood and stuff, but like he wanted to make sure
He's
still
trying
moving
to crawl
around.
away.
He's just
Oh,
shooting
that's
at him.
awful. Oh,
I don't know what kind of gun he has. Making sure this guy is dead. And then again,
Yeah, I'd away.
I don't see the phones here though, but wow. Yeah.
In the judge's chambers between the meeting between Sheriff Steins and Judge Mullins, it's my understanding that video lasted much longer, correct?
Yes,
Okay. And have you had an opportunity to review the video
I have.
of the prior incident?
I have.
And can you describe for us what happened immediately prior to the clip that we saw?
Sheriff Steins uses his telephone to make some phone calls. He then borrows Judge Mullins' cell phone and appears to make a call on that. And that led to what you just saw.
He saw something in that phone.
So it's my understanding there were
Something set him off.
some people who were having a meeting with Judge Mullins prior to the sheriff's entry into the chambers. Is that correct?
Yes.
Have you identified those witnesses?
I don't know the names of them. There's about approximately 4 people in there. Then Sheriff Steins enters the judge's chambers and everybody else clears out.
You don't know their names?
Not right off, no.
Have you prepared a report?
In the process, yes.
You're in the process of preparing a report,
Yes, a lot of information.
but you've not spoken to any of those witnesses?
I'm not directly, but they've all been interviewed. There's recorded interviews of those people in the case.
Okay, so other officers have spoken with those 4 witnesses?
Yes.
And what is your understanding of what those 4 witnesses have said?
I don't recall.
I mean, what are they going to make it so they can't have the guns in the court, like only tasers or something? I mean, seriously.
No idea what they said?
No.
I want to make sure I understand. Had there been a hearing previously this day in chambers?
In the courtroom?
No, in chambers.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. And so there's a video camera that is running in the district judge's chambers. Is that on all the time?
It's my understanding, yes.
Have you spoken with anyone about why that may be?
No, I mean, there's cameras throughout the courthouse.
People were banging in there.
But are you familiar with district judges' chambers normally, how they're set up?
No, I mean, some of them have video surveillance and some don't.
Right,
This
but
one does.
generally when they have surveillance, you agree with me that that is utilized when there is a proceeding going on in chambers, correct?
It could be, yes.
Okay. And I'm just asking, so this video didn't have an audio recording, correct?
No, there's no audio.
Outside of once the four people that were inside that were their names, once these four people had left the chambers, were they in an area adjacent where they could hear anything that was going on?
Yes, I believe some of them did remain in the next room.
Okay. And what did they tell?
Do what?
What did they?
I wasn't part of those interviews.
Okay, so if I'm understanding correctly, prepared for the preliminary hearing murder, and there are witnesses in adjacent room.
They heard
Can I put
gunshots.
my question, please?
Oh shit! Let me finish.
So you are investigating a murder and testifying in a preliminary hearing, and there are witnesses who may have overheard what preceded this edited clip, yet you can't tell us anything that they said?
I've not listened to those interviews. To the other officer did those interviews.
Fair enough. I mean, we're here at a preliminary hearing, as you know, that you can testify to hearsay. I'm asking you what they said.
They heard gunshots.
Okay. Was there any statements that they overheard?
No.
Were there raised voices?
There one person stated.
Yeah, Chica, I'm wondering though if the video recordings are happening because of what happened in there, because there was already, so that sheriff had a deputy that he trained that was doing that stuff in the judge's chambers. So maybe that was already going on, like that stuff's already in court right now. So I'm wondering if that's why the cameras are there. You know what I mean? I don't know.
That she didn't recognize him as being Judge Mullen's voice, but heard somebody say, "Help, help."
Presumably that would be after the firearm was drawn or shot.
Objection, Your Honor.
I withdraw, Judge.
Withdraw.
So is there any testimony that you can give us today about any statements or arguments or the content of that argument prior to the shooting?
No.
Okay.
I think if the sheriff can prove, if they can prove that this guy was like that the judge was doing inappropriate things, maybe he can get off, or like maybe a little time. I don't know if they can prove that.
Yeah, we need to know the content first. We need more details, bro. I knocked my shit off. I don't know if it's on my end. It might be. I just bumped my computer. It looks like it is spinning on. I think it's on my end. I'm not sure though. No, it says I have Wi-Fi. Is that on that stream? Let me look. I can't tell. You just might have to hang tight a minute while it's doing its little thing. Let me try backing it up a little and see what happens.
Can prove if they can prove that this guy was like that the judge was doing inappropriate things, maybe he can get off, or like maybe a little time. I don't know.
People will have more compassion. This might be on Ikemel's end. I don't know. Or it could be my end. It's doing it at the same spot. I don't know if we just wait a minute. This is annoying, guys. I'm sorry. I can try to bump it a little more.
If they can prove that.
Yep, there we go. Nope. Well, that's the same spot. What in the hell am I going to do here? No. That can't be
doing
it.
inappropriate things.
Is that it?
Maybe he can,
That can't be it.
if they can prove that.
What the hell?
Um,
Did something happen? I don't know if Flossie's in here. She would know because this stream already happened. I'll figure it out if this is. There has to be more to this. I don't know if it like froze for a minute. Is he updating it or something? It's not. It's showing that the stream ended, but I already know that. Maybe he just finished his stream. He might have just finished his stream and now it's uploading. Could be the problem. Let me see. No, it said the stream ended 35 minutes ago, so that doesn't make sense.
Doing inappropriate things.
I don't know what's going on, y'all.
Maybe he can get off, or like maybe a little time. I don't know if they can prove that.
All right, I might have to. All right, I'll try that. I don't know what if that's gonna mess up my shit. Sometimes it does. Then I lost my spot.
What's up?
I lost our spot. I'll find it again. It was at 3710. 3710. That doesn't seem right though. That doesn't seem right.
correct.
I'm not familiar with the details of that case.
No, that wasn't where we were on this.
Arrive on behalf of law enforcement to investigate.
They were already in the courthouse.
I'm sorry, I gotta try to figure out where we.
For the prosecution, if they can prove this guy has been planning this for a while, maybe. I don't know.
Are you the lead investigator on this case?
I am.
Am I
Okay, so
am I
as the
behind
lead
a lot?
investigator, I would presume that when you arrived.
No.
I think we were right here.
Who would be the first person?
I believe Trooper Jason Bates was the first KSP personnel on scene.
And
Should I just leave it here? What do you
you
think?
spoke with him, and
I did.
he searched and did not locate a firearm.
No, he didn't search the scene. No.
Okay.
His
It seems
role.
it
His
seems
role at
different
that
on
point
this
was
end though.
security of the scene.
I understand, but I'm just trying to ascertain you said earlier that there was no firearm found.
It gets confusing because there's
to know,
minus
did you-
sometimes.
Can you tell us, was it specifically search for a firearm?
In the judge's chambers,
Yes, sir.
there was myself,
just
Detective
gonna
Chris
leave it.
Collins, Detective Scott Caldwell,
I don't want to screw it up again. I think it was here
Detective
though.
Eric Caldwell.
Evade police by jumping in a trash. Just I had to stop for a minute because I have.
Fair enough. Okay.
It's probably hard for him because they were probably
It's just
friends.
crazy. Just I had to stop for a minute because I have the Citizens app
Yeah,
installed.
I'll just leave it. It's annoying.
You
doing
remember
that.
yesterday we covered this
I know when I'm on the other end and people have to do that, it's annoying. Sorry.
suspected alleged murderer that tried to evade police by jumping in a trash chute, right? And he ended up getting caught. I just got notified.
Look at his
a couple
eyes.
minutes ago. House
It's like he's looking through the guy right there. Look at that. It probably sucks for both of them if they knew each other.
keeper rescued from trash chute found by Amazon driver. This is in Miami.
What the hell?
You can't make this up. How the hell did this lady end up in the trash chute?
Is that the one that
Wow.
got stuck
Okay.
yesterday? Trash chute.
She's has been transported to the trauma center.
Trauma.
Holy shit. Okay.
She's going to need a power washer for that ass.
In the course of your investigation, did you ascertain that prior in the day there had been a lunch meeting between Sheriff Steins and Judge Mullins?
There was.
Pardon?
There
Gotta go
was.
check my fridge.
Sorry, I
See what I'm
couldn't hear
cooking
your response. I wasn't
when everybody's home.
Right. So where did this take place?
It's a restaurant called Street Side. And it's just down the street from the courthouse.
Okay. And it's my understanding there were a couple of other people who attended the luncheon.
There were several, yes.
Okay. And at some point after that, they wrapped up lunch. and left, obviously, and went back to the courthouse. Are you aware of anything so far in your investigation that would tell us there was any issues at lunch between Judge
No,
Mullins and Sheriff Steins?
no.
But someone on behalf of the KSB has spoken to those witnesses?
Yes,
Excuse
they've all
me.
been interviewed.
And there was nothing unusual that had arisen during that luncheon?
I was told that the judge made a statement to Mickey about, do we need to meet private in my chambers? That's all I was told.
Do you know the context of
I do not.
what the conversation was before that they would need to discuss in chambers?
I do not.
So it's my understanding that in the larger portion of the video that we haven't had access to, that there is a point when Sheriff Steins asked for to see the telephone of Judge Mullins.
Yes.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Yes, okay. And I would presume that you and the other officers you mentioned when you secured the scene, that you secured those phones as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
And have you reviewed both of those phones?
They're currently at the forensic lab at this time being downloaded. I have had discussions with the people at the lab regarding the downloads.
And those are a couple of other questions that I was going to ask you, but my original question was, have you reviewed or are you aware of the content of the phones?
I've not personally seen it because I've not
Big question, the content of the phone.
received those reports yet.
Okay, again, based upon your conversations with the officers, are you aware of any recent content that was up and could have been relevant at the time of their discussion?
I was told that Sheriff Steins had tried to call his daughter, and he had tried to call his daughter from the judge's phone also.
So, have you obtained the phone records from Judge Mullins' phone?
I don't have those in my possession yet. No.
Okay, have you issued a search warrant for them?
Yes.
Okay. And have
Oh,
officers
wait.
confirmed that
I gotta back that up a
the
little.
sheriff's
Make sure I heard that right.
daughters
Sorry, guys.
obtained the phone records from Judge Mullins' phone?
I don't have those in my possession yet. No.
Okay, have you issued a search warrant for them?
Yes.
Okay. And have officers confirmed that the sheriff's daughter's phone number was on Judge Mullins' phone?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, hell. So it
that
was
sound effect
true.
is too loud. Let me know. But oh, okay.
So the first day this happened, I think I did a stream about it when it, first aired or first happened when he first went to jail. And that's what the townspeople were saying. And I said that it was all alleged. I did put that out there. Oh.
Okay, so at least we can confirm for sure. The sheriff's daughter, her phone number was in the judge's phone for sure.
That's
we can confirm
dirty
that.
shit.
They still haven't done a lot of the data stuff because I'm curious what's
That man was 54 years old, if I remember correctly. That's inappropriate.
in that data because I'm trying to hold out.
I feel both
I
of
wanna
their
see-
wives, both of their families just got screwed,
Why did this guy shoot the judge? So there's something there. There is something there. Holy ish. I don't know, man. This is crazy. I don't know what to think.
So
So
yes.
that number had been called from.
Well, it's too bad he didn't stay calm and handle it the right way. Ask some questions, handle it with the law, at least talk to his daughter, but it sounds like he snapped, potentially.
Judge Mullins' phone.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Damn. Wow.
So we don't have a viewing of what transpired during that exchange of phones. But based upon your review of those,
Wait a minute, actually, won't they get called in if there's a trial or whatever? depending on how old the daughter is. Well, whatever. She's going to get called as a witness, won't she? Don't you think they're going to ask her what she was texting about or calling him or why they were talking? Because he's not alive to speak on it. They're going to get the phone records, but shouldn't she give context? I can't really remember her age. If she was 16 or 17, maybe. This is her.
Moments prior to when Sheriff Steins observes that cell phone, was he previously seated?
Yes,
Okay, so in the clip we saw, he was standing the entire time.
he was seated in front of the judge's desk.
And he looks at the cell phone. What is it? Can you describe his reaction in the video that we haven't seen?
Whose reaction?
Well, the sheriff.
You can't see his face in the video.
Okay. But is it clear that, does it appear to you that, let me rephrase this. Did he stand up after
Yes,
looking at the phone?
he stood up.
And how long after he looked at the cell phone and stood up did this occur that you played?
Just seconds.
Did you make the decision as
Oh, no, not this again.
For what you were
Poor
going to
dog
present?
workers. I need
You're
info on
Did
that.
you make the edit or determine
No,
which portion of the video we were going to see today?
no, sir, I did not.
Both cell phones have been sent to the Kentucky State Police forensic
Yes,
team, is that correct?
yes.
Have you gotten any early report on what was found?
No,
Were both phones still on the desk when you arrived?
the judge's phone was on the desk. Sheriff Stein's phone was on his person.
Okay, so are there photographs of, was the phone locked at that point or was it still open?
Both of you asking about both of them, or?
Well, first let's talk about, that's fair. First, I'm talking about Judge Mullins, since it was the one that was still on the desk and presumably.
Thank you, Kimber.
Nobody touched it prior to you securing it, correct?
No, no.
So, yeah, so would like to know about that. Have you ascertained what was currently open on that cell phone?
No, I don't know at this point. No,
You don't know.
no.
Do you think that would be important to learn?
I hope to learn that when the report's ready. Yes.
But as of today, you can't tell us
No.
what was currently open on the judge's phone.
No, sir.
Did you conduct an interview with Sheriff Stein's daughter?
I did not, but she has been interviewed.
Are you aware of who was present when she was interviewed?
Lieutenant Randy Combs and Detective Anthony Trotter.
And she was interviewed with or without her parent?
With.
So her parent was present at the time you interviewed her?
Yes, I believe. I wasn't there, but yes, I think so.
Law enforcement has not spoken to her without her parent present?
Not that I'm aware of.
Did the Kentucky State Police obtain her phone?
No.
Do you intend to obtain records for her cell phone number?
Yeah,
Possibly, yes.
possibly. That's part of the allegations.
That will be soon that you'll do that.
Could be, yes.
Had you already intended to do that, or did you just respond to my question?
Well, the call should be on the judge's records too.
Well, I understand.
And
but-
she's made statements about what occurred during those conversations.
I understand that, but I would presume that, have you ascertained whether Judge Mullins also had apps that stand outside of phone records?
I've not received those records yet. I don't know what's on the
Well,
phone.
fair enough, but I mean, did you look at the phone? Did it appear there were apps on it?
I'm not the person that's qualified to look through the phone.
Okay, but you're familiar with cell phones. They can host other forms of communication. Yes, sir.
What's the objection?
He's asked a question in about 4 or 5 different ways. The officers, the detective repeatedly said that he does not have a report with phones. He's not good with the phone. He can't testify that matter.
I'll let him ask the question, and that way he can only testify what he has personal knowledge about.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Right.
So you're aware that phones can be used for apps such as Facebook.
Yes.
Okay. And that is not something that is captured by cell phone records. You would agree with me?
I agree.
And I feel like he's alluding to something too. He could be not, because he just mentioned Facebook, but he could have mentioned any other app. So I just wonder what this sheriff told this lawyer, and like, was there conversations on Facebook between the judge and the sheriff's daughter? Phone records probably doesn't include that. They'll have to do separate searches.
So in light of that, although the records may be mutually the same, right, the same between Judge Mullins' phone and the sheriff's daughter, do you believe that you could also ascertain other information from the cell phone app content?
Are you asking what apps are on the phone?
Yes. Well, that was my original question.
I don't know I've not received that report yet. I don't know what apps he had downloaded on the phone.
If he has social media apps, do you intend to?
That could lead to additional search warrants, yes.
If you would, officer, please let me finish before you move forward, and I'll try to slow down a little bit as well, okay?
Okay.
Sure.
Thank you, Chief. Have you determined whether there were any previous issues, personal or professional, between Sheriff Steins and Judge Mullins?
I've heard things.
What have you heard?
What things?
Just that this regarding the lawsuit that the Letcher County Sheriff's Office is currently involved with.
Okay. The lawsuit that involved ultimately a criminal conviction of a deputy for sexual behavior.
Hey Mel, someone blocked my original ACCT. I hope it can be unblocked. Thank you.
Uncle Fester, thank you for the 5. If you can email me at ickedmail@gmail.com, and possibly if you can send me the link, because it makes it so much easier for me. If I try to type your name out, it's gonna be a bitch. With YouTube and all the names. But if you can go to YouTube, there's a way that you can share your account. I'm pulling over now. The 3 dots and share. You can share your account and send me an email. I'll unblock you. Thank you. The sheriff's daughter, Tammy's clips. I've heard 16. I've heard 17. I don't know if she was 16 and she turned 17, but that's the ages that I heard.
Is that the one you're referring to?
Yes.
Okay, and the subject matter of that lawsuit, the Chambers area, that's the same Chambers in which this occurred, is that correct?
I'm not familiar with the details of that case.
And that previous lawsuit, it was a deputy that worked under the sheriff right now that shot the judge. Supposedly that deputy was having sexual relations with multiple inmates. And like, he was like, if you want to get out early, have sex with me. There was one lady in particular that's suing the cop that she couldn't afford the charges to be out on bail, like the GPS and all that stuff. And so the guy was like, oh, well, if you sleep with me, I'll take care of you. And in certain cases, he had even said that like he had given her permission to go somewhere and she took off her ankle monitor and he lied. He called and reported her in anyway. I think his name was like Ben Fields or something like that. And supposedly it had something to do with this judge's chambers. So weird. All of it's just, I don't know.
The Chambers area, that's the same Chambers in which this occurred, is that correct?
I'm not familiar with the details of that case that the lawsuit resulted from.
Okay. Are you aware of any criminal reports that Sheriff Steins had made of Judge Mullins prior to this day?
No.
Ooh, any criminal reports that the sheriff made on the judge? First time I ever heard of that, supposedly.
Aware of any criminal reports that Sheriff Steins had made of Judge Mullins prior to this day?
No.
Did you personally observe Sheriff Steins following this video?
Did I personally observe him? What?
Did you meet with him? Did you talk to him after?
He was in custody when I arrived at the courthouse that afternoon.
And at some point, did you draw any observation about his demeanor?
He was mostly calm, I thought. I mean, I talked to him, but he didn't say nothing about why this had happened. But he was calm. He was kind of afraid that basically all he said was, treat me fair. That's basically the comments he made.
Okay. Did he also make a statement about, I didn't see it in the citation, you're somewhere along the line I saw a statement being attributed to him about protecting his family?
I wasn't present, but when he was taken into custody, I was told by one of the other officers that were there that he made the comment, they're trying to kidnap my wife and kid.
Trying to kidnap my wife and kid. Interesting. What? Julie, thank you for the super chat, says age of consent in Kentucky is 16. Is it really? Oh, Lord. But somebody else had mentioned there's like an age gap difference or something. I'll have to look that up. Let me look it up. That's what it says. Oh, this is what I was wondering about. It does say, not that even if 16, you wouldn't want your kids sleeping with some, I don't know how old, 16 versus, I don't know, 50 something, but it says it's 16, and Kentucky does not have Romeo and Juliet laws. So the age of the other person involved does not matter, legally speaking. So that could screw this guy over. And it doesn't matter if the sexual activity was considered consensual. What? I don't know. What y'all got over there in Kentucky? Okay, I get it. The Romeo and Juliet in some states, it's like a certain age of like 16 or 17. It's okay if the person is like 18 or 19. There's not like this big age gap depending on the state. That's such a crazy thing too. The age of consent, how it just varies from state to state or even in different countries. But apparently it's 16 and there is no Romeo and Juliet laws over there. The Wild Wild West, Kentucky.
Now, have you ascertained any evidence that this shooting was pre-planned?
No, not at this time.
And would you agree that from what we've seen so far, from the evidence you've seen so far, the shooting was a reaction to what was on that cell phone in that moment? Is that accurate?
Objection, Your Honor. Also speculation outside of his self-expertise.
How's that speculation?
Sure, I believe that if he has formed an opinion about the investigation up to this point, especially at a preliminary hearing, he can speculate on that.
Or sustained.
Sure. So, is there anything other than the content of the phone that this video will reveal to us about why this took place?
No.
Does it appear that this took place as a reaction to to what was happening in the chambers at that point?
I can say it occurred after a phone call was made. I don't know what was said or nothing like that, but
So, fair enough, but I'm not asking you the content of any of that, but at this point, is it your theory that whatever that content was in the discussion was the impetus of the shooting?
it could be, but I don't know that for a fact.
Okay. Do you have any evidence up until this point that you have developed that would demonstrate that it was not, as a reaction to what was on the phone?
No,
None whatsoever?
no.
Okay. Here's if I had just one moment to confer.
So it seems like it's leaning towards maybe there's some truth to this allegation that the judge had some connection with this sheriff's daughter, and these two guys, it's said like they were friends and stuff, like they knew each other, they had lunch earlier, so I don't know, this is weird, this is odd. I am very curious about the trial when it happens. Pled not guilty. I don't even know what to think, bro. I mean, wow, it's crazy. The only thing I wonder though about the consent thing, if that can screw over the sheriff legally, I don't know. Like it's just a hearing. This is not the trial. This is just a hearing today. Yeah.
Did you attempt to speak to Sheriff Steins at the Leslie County Jail after the incident?
No.
Did anyone from your agency attempt to interview him?
Not to my knowledge, no.
And at that point, had he asserted his right to an attorney or anything?
No.
But nobody went back to try to talk to him or do an interview?
No.
Okay. I think I have one other question. In addition to cell phones that we discussed, the cell phone of Sheriff Steins and the cell phone that you found of Judge Mullins, were there additional phones that you were able to obtain?
There was one other phone that's currently being examined, and the basic reason it was seized was there was a text conversation between Sheriff Steins and some of his employees with the sheriff's office.
Okay, and that was an additional phone of Sheriff Steins?
It was a phone of, I guess she's the, I don't know what her title is, but she's employed. She's not sworn. She's employed by the Letcher County Sheriff's Office. And she voluntarily gave her phone to the person that interviewed her.
Okay, and just out of curiosity, could you explain why that was relevant or germane to your investigation?
I didn't conduct that interview, but it was, I guess it was regarding the dinner at Streetside and things that led up to the shooting. But I don't have those results either, so I don't know exactly what was said.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I thought when we discussed that earlier that you indicated there was no evidence that the conversations at the lunch.
I haven't seen those conversations yet. I've not received the downloads from the phone.
Right, but I asked you if you're aware of any information that could have been gleaned from witnesses at that meeting. And as I recall, you said no, but there is some information that something was discussed at this lunch. Is that correct?
I don't know what was discussed at lunch.
I understand, but you obtained this lady that we don't know her name. You obtained her phone in an effort or based on a belief that she would be able to demonstrate what was said at lunch. So you would agree with me, you believe that there is a witness or information that may have popped up at lunch.
There's a recorded interview with her in the case, and I'm yet to receive the downloads of the phone, so I don't know what they contain.
Okay, has that phone been sent to the forensic examination as well?
Yes.
Right. Thank you. Also, that's all I have. Thank you.
Redirect. Question. Has Judge Mullins, he sent to medical examiner's office and autopsy?
He was.
Have you received that report yet?
No.
Have you had an informal conversation with him regarding his cause of death?
Yes.
And what was that?
Multiple gunshot wounds.
The video we showed earlier, that a true and accurate clear copy of what you received?
Yes.
Councilman Leader, this comes exhibit number 1, Your Honor. Any objection?
Right, I'd ask, of course, all we saw today was the clip, but I asked it be admitted in its entirety, Your Honor.
You want to respond to that?
Did not, I don't think preliminary hearing is required for probable cause. This is statute of probable cause. I think the entire clip is outside the purview of these proceedings today.
Yeah, I think if you want to see the whole video, you should have objected earlier. I'll admit.
You should have got to show the whole clip.
The short clip. Yeah.
Before, during, after.
Enter that as exhibit number 1.
All right. Well, I don't know. This is definitely going to be interesting. I want to follow this case.
Hey,
I want to know.
Is this an ongoing investigation?
Yes, it is.
And as this ongoing investigation proceeds, you will be also interviewing more people if necessary, submitting more evidence to the lab?
Yes.
That's all I have.
Recross. All right. Any other witnesses for the Commonwealth?
No,
All right. You may step down. Any witnesses for the defendant? I'll find probable cause and bind this case over the grand jury.
So grand jury has to.
Anything else? Anything else before we turn court?
There's no, we're not allowed to sum up, Judge, what.
Oh, if you want to make an argument, sure.
It seems like I may change your mind.
It is a probable cause hearing, so, but yes,
Actually,
take your best shot.
well, so, murder under our statute, as the court knows, and I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but if there is an issue as to extreme emotional disturbance, then there has to be some evidence that would rebut that. And specifically, when I asked the witness today if there was any evidence to rebut that this occurred as a direct result in the moment of this observation, if I may have none, and I get it's just probable cause, but I think they've established probable cause for manslaughter first, but not murder. Because I've heard nothing that indicates that this is not, an example of an extreme emotional disturbance relative to the following. At any rate, Judge, respectfully, I understand the court's previous ruling, but I did want to address that with you.
No, that's fine. Let the
Thank you, Your Honor.
Commonwealth respond.
Thank you, Your Honor. Extreme emotional disturbance is a defense. There's not been a defense presented here in this court today. The evidence presented in this court today is that the judge was intentionally shot and killed, shot multiple times by the sheriff, and there's probable cause to pass the grand jury murder charge.
Yeah, I agree. There's probable cause to proceed with murder.
Sure.
All right. Anything else before we adjourn court today?
Your Honor, in terms of, we'd like to discuss, if we could, lodging from here where he's transported. Is it the court's intention to have him take, and I don't want to discuss that potentially publicly, Your Honor?
I'm not sure I can make that, help you on that.
Yes, Your Honor. So,
I mean, we could, you're welcome to stay after court and discuss that, but I'm not sure I can tell the.
yes, Your Honor. So your transport order that was entered that will direct Sheriff Steins to go back to where he came from, Judge? Is that fair?
Let's adjourn court and we'll talk about that.
Yes, sir.
I don't know that I can change where he's going to be at.
I'm sure. Yes, sir.
We can discuss it. All right.
Thanks, sir.
All right. Court's adjourned.
Yes, sir.
What's adjourned? And it's a probable cause hearing. I don't know if he's going to take it to the grand jury. That's what it seems like. But I think that there's enough to go to trial. There's no way it's not enough. I mean, this guy shot the judge on video camera and killed him. Enough to at least go to trial. Now, I'm curious what was on the phone, or were they going to reveal what was the contents of the conversation? Did this judge actually sleep with this guy's daughter? What's the deal with that?
So many questions. I think we need more
Yeah,
info.
definitely going to trial. There's no way it has to be trial. So, all right, I guess that's it for now. I am going to come back later. I'm going to go to I'm going to try to get this fish tank tested. I think it's good to go. And I've been like tweaked.
Yeah, I didn't. So I started doing other things. I had to start my dishes and stuff. So did anyone hear when they're coming back, or did they not say it yet? So now I got to look out for this. We got to look for more evidence. I can't make a decision until I see more, like what I think I need to see more on the phone, what the contents of the phone were, hear from the other people. And then if you came in here late and didn't hear the first one, it is frigging mind-blowing. I'm going to be stunned all day from it. I'm not going to even be able to stop thinking about it. It was so crazy. So yeah, watch the first one. We did back-to-back streams of just the court part. We had 2 pressers today. So actually, to back up a little bit, I did part 2 today to my live that I started yesterday on this psycho chick on TikTok. That's everybody's starting to come out. They were afraid, but they're just starting to come out and tell their truths about this chick. And she's not like anybody we've met on YouTube. Seems to be like a dangerous, predatory woman that need to be exposed. I think probably there's going to be a lot more coming out on her and more people coming out, more victims. But she did have court today. She went to court with a warrant. Actually, let me check my messages because somebody was going to send me an update. I don't know how her court went, but she also has court on the 4th. Oh, shit. And now, during this live, we found out that Tamori has also been picked up, which I have a couple things I can upload. If you just give me a second, I could show you. I didn't realize those came through. Let's see if I have room in my StreamYard. That's quite often a problem. Let me take out my ice cream, map of Fletcher County, take out all this old stuff, and maybe I'll have a little room. It often gets full. Let me see if I could upload these 2 Tamori things. I'm going to see if I can enlarge it and see what it shows. I can't quite see that. Let me see. Yeah, arrest date is today, but let's see if there's more here. I'm going to have to go to the other side to see if I can see it better. Stop sharing this one. I'm going to try to make it larger. 1 second. It just says hold for her county pretrial. She's supposed to be getting expedited, I guess. Wait, let me see where it says actually. She was arrested. She's currently in Lexington, South Carolina, waiting to be extradited back to Horry County, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So it doesn't really say here other than to hold for them. So I don't know if she had a warrant out. Because I find it usually when they do that, it's because of a warrant, to the best of my knowledge anyway. So I don't know what she got picked. I don't know what she could have got picked up for. There's probably more info if you go on the website, maybe. Maybe the Lexington County, because that's where this is. And maybe there's a little bit more info now. She did, after all, just go in today. She just got picked up today. So sometimes it takes a little bit to get into the system and everything. You know, her picture's not even there or anything like that. So if you keep an eye out for that later, it's Tamori, you know, her name's there and everything. You can see it there. I don't want to actually say it out loud, but of course it's there in the system. Let me see if I can do the bigger one here real quick. Oh, come back here. Don't be going away on me. So there's the full thing if you want to look it up yourself. There's nothing about a bond in there, that's for sure. What'd you do, Tamari? What'd you do, lady? Oop, I forgot to delete that. That's P. Diddy's oil. Ugh, nasty thing. So yeah, I would definitely check out the first part of this where we did the P. Diddy press conference with his Yesterday, it was alleged that 100 new victims were coming forward for a class action lawsuit. Today, we found out it is over 3,000 alleged victims. Over 3,000. Yes, you heard that correct. And it was at the beginning of this stream when they spoke about it and gave the number, which I'm shooketh from hearing it. That's just absolutely, it's inconceivable to me. That's what it is. And it is not, the prosecutor stated that it is not part of a class action lawsuit. He cleared that up today. He said these are going to be all individual lawsuits, which is absolutely insane. Yeah, she does look a lot older than, I mean, I thought when I first seen her on YouTube back in the day when she was hanging with everybody, I just assumed she was a different age. Not that I usually go out and say anyone's name. I just thought she was older. Some people look around their age. Some people, the years aren't so kind. Some people look younger. I just love looking at that. Doesn't it look so like you just want to jump in it? I've been going to the beach a lot in the evenings and out there dorking it like a mofo. Just total dorking it with my friggin' headlamp and shit, looking for shit. I'm out there with all the fishermen. There's a lot of fishermen usually out at night too in the dark. We all have headlamps. And yes, I am now armed with pepper spray, so I'm good. If someone tries to get me, they're going to get sprayed in the eyeball. And it's on my, I wear it on an armband, so I'm ready at all times to spray someone in the eyeballs. If I need to do it, they're going to get it. Nose, eyeballs, even any animal that approaches me. Unfriendly animal, they're going to get sprayed too. That's how I'm going to deal with that. But yeah, that's my nighttime activities lately. I don't think I'll be going tonight. I don't think there's enough time. I don't know though. It depends on what I'm making for dinner. So yeah, if you want to see a shocking presser right before this and you missed it, I would go to that. If you wanted to see part 2 to the Bree Powers stuff, Predator Lady, I did part 2 earlier. So basically, I've been streaming a effing lot today, longer than I have in a while. This one is not mine. It was given to me by Chaotic. Picked up this clip for me. But sometimes it looks like this. There are different beaches that I have that look like this. See, I go to the beaches with rougher terrain for when I'm searching, like a lot of rocks, because I'm looking for sea glass and certain kinds of rocks. And sea glass is made by polishing. It's polished and finished by rubbing on rocks. So a smooth beach like this, it wouldn't be tumbled to perfection. I go to this kind of a beach for if I'm going to step in the water, because I don't go in any water past my certain part of my legs, because I'm afraid of the great white sharks and all the creatures touching my legs. So I need to be able to see. If I can't see my feet in the water, then I'm not going to step in it. Okay, because I'm afraid of stepping on crabs, everything. Yeah, her name is Brianna. Her full name is Brianna, but she goes by Bree, and it's spelled different. B-R-E, just one E. If you want to look her up on TikTok, I think I already closed them all down. Bree Powers, and there's a hashtag. If you look up the hashtag I survived Bree Powers. I already closed them all down though. I put the link in the other Bree Powers that I did. To do this Diddy and Sheriff stream though, I already closed all the other Bree stuff out because I was done with her. I finally got through all the Bree Powers stuff. Let me see. I already closed down everything. Oh, let me see if there's an update in the court actually. Let me try to do that real quick before I close. Curiosity. So it appears, let's see if anything happened today. I don't know if they'll put it in here. Let's see if she has new charges. Oh, wait a minute. This case says case involves domestic violence. What happened here? Just give me a second. I'm checking the results of the court. And I don't know if I had clicked on the information about this one, the competency hearing she was having today. Let's see. Oh, she's still going the 16th, the 9th, the 4th. And then she had a few different things today. In-person hearing. Let me see if there's any info on it. I don't think there's any info. It was a state felony, though. A felony case, so it's not good. Just says case involves domestic violence. It doesn't give any information other than that. It just says state felony. Don't know. Now let me go back to the StreamYard before I close up. If you're all still here, allegedly the reason that Tamori was arrested was, wow, this is actually pretty shocking. This wouldn't happen in Massachusetts. It's a narcotics warrant from like 2011. A private investigator has been tracking her on TikTok for 18 months. A narcotics warrant from Horry County, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. For those who go way back with Tamori, she said she was a professional dominatrix back in the early 2000s in Myrtle Beach. A private investigator has been tracking her TikTok for 18 months. That's an awful long time for a sting. Okay, that can't be no little charge. What investigator follows some little old person for 18 months unless it's a big deal? Is she into like trafficking and like shipping narcotics? Why would they want some old little lady that just has a narcotics charge unless she's dealing? Why would a private investigator follow someone for 18 months? Now you think about that for a minute. Does that make any sense to you? Let me ask people that know about this stuff. Have you ever heard of a PI tracking somebody for 18 months that just does a little drugs? Because I haven't. Not unless they're into something bigger. This is all alleged, but the person that watched somebody's live earlier that did this, Special on Tamori, sent me the information that she's been being tracked on TikTok for 18 months. So, this tells me it's something bigger than that. I would keep an eye out on her page if you like to follow her and want some follow-up on her, on the shit I just showed you. So she's going to be allegedly getting transported back to Horry County. It sounds like I'm saying whore, but it's Horry. I don't, if I'm mispronouncing it, I apologize. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I'll keep an eye and maybe check out her name and everything. Happy October 1st. People are gone. They gone. All kinds of people are gone today. P. Diddy gone. Tamori's gone. Sheriff's gone. Happy friggin' October 1st. Now I need to get to making something to eat, and so I can decorate my little crafted items that I was showing you all earlier. Actually, I don't know if it's... Can you still see my little people? Let me see. Before I leave, let me see which camera it is. Does it work? Let me see. I gotta make it bigger. Let me see if I can make this thing bigger. Yeah, these are my little things. Look, and if I could show you an earbud in comparison, they're really small. These are little, I don't know quite what I'm going to do with them, but I got to paint their hairs. I sculpted them out of clay, and then I made some. Again, this is an earbud for reference. They're very small. They're around the size of a quarter, a little skinnier than a quarter. And these are my little Scream, and it made me think little Ernie masks. I got to paint little Ernie mask. I'm going to put them on my, I have a Snoop on a stoop. It's like an elf on a shelf. So I got to paint these. I'm thinking about drilling out the eyeballs. If I drill out the eyes, then I'm going to feel compelled to put a leather strap there so they look authentic, like Ernie's masks. And then I made a bunch of these blank little eyeballs that I have to paint and then fill them in with resin so they actually look like eyeballs. I only started one. Why ain't this light working? Oh, I don't know if you can see the eyeball. So I started coloring this with some special Inktense pencils that are right here. It's good for artists. They're very expensive when I bought them a while ago. I forgot I had them. I have the pastels in. So I was able to do this just with a color pencil, and then I coated it, and I still have to fill it in with resin. So I'm going to probably make some recycled jars with a bunch of eyeballs and creepy shit, because I did this. I put a blob of this clay and baked it on a jar to see if the jar would burst, and it didn't break in the oven. So I'm trying to make like this creature thing, like an octopus creature. So I carved it with a razor. I carved out the tentacles. I don't know if you could see like the carve marks. And I got to put all the little sucker things on there now. But my first test, this is an old baby food jar, like a vintage. I got a whole pack of them, so I'm testing out what the heat can handle on the glass, because I don't know if it's tempered glass or not. It looks really crappy in this picture, but you can't really see it, I guess. in this camera. I'm just getting used to it, but that's what I've been working on. Little creature Halloweenish thing. I think chaotic might be rubbing off on me. What do you think? Wow. Whoa! Okay, so I just got the intel. There's more to come on Tamori, and somebody hired the PI and they spent 10 grand to get her. No way. They must be rich or really pissed at her. She's been living in her daughter's yard in the camper she bought with the scammed money and a boob job. So she's been hiding in a camper in Lexington, South Carolina. That's where the Lexington, South Carolina's department arrested her very, very early this morning. Oh, you busted, bitch. That's pretty crazy, huh? Don't you think? Oh, look, I got circles. Circles. You can make little earrings too. There's so many possibilities what I can do with these. I can also mix them with metal and then bake them again so they're attached to the metal. That's what I'm saying. For like, even like, they might be small enough, and if I drill the back out light enough to attach to hoops or other things. I don't know. I gotta think on this. Okay, I'll figure out something with these little things. First, I gotta paint the hair and the faces on the screen and all that. It said the info I got. The person texting me said a PI spent 10 grand to get her. But who would spend? Yeah, we can make ornaments too. Oh, for sure. They'd be cute on a little miniature tree, like people do those little Christmas trees. That's a good idea. You could definitely add hooks on them. There's really endless possibilities. You're gonna get me going because I have all kinds of accessories and stuff. I was thinking of like little miniature knives. I could put blood on them too. I don't know. This is all Chaotic's fault. But now I'm going to be left with this question as I close. Who the fuck paid that much money to stock? Well, not. It's kind of like legal stock, and a PI is allowed to do that. Who would have so much resentment or money to do that to her? That's my question. Who did she impact that would want to do that? Who do you guys know that she's hurt that would want to do that to her? Do y'all have any idea? Because I'm completely clueless. I wasn't part of the Tamori stuff. I was like in the community, but not like in the chats that she was in. So I never even talked to her. Only thing I know of Tamori is when I did the little shit bucket stream I did. I don't know, maybe a couple months ago. Maybe not that long ago. I streamed her clip of the shit bucket. She was watching me. And she says she's been watching all of us. Because she privated her stream right when I started, and I was like, production. And I went right to Rumble to get it. Somebody already put it on Rumble for me, but does she have a lot of people that she's mad at? I don't know. I don't know if she ever affected BDAC. I don't know if BDAC's ever around. Last I knew he was very ill, but I did my gifted memberships today that I get every month, and BDAC actually got one of my gifted memberships. I think there was a bunch of names that I'm not really familiar with that got the membership. So, and then there was a couple people that I don't know if they even come in here. So, there's people going after her on TikTok. I wonder if her TikTok's up so I could. This would be a good dive to do, deep dive, because I don't know anything about her. Maybe this is more traders department. She knows her history better than me. It would be interesting for somebody to look into that today. Because I'm like super curious. I don't know if I could do another rabbit hole tonight, though. I will get nothing done. I just got out of the Bree rabbit hole. What's her TikTok called? How can I look this up? Interesting. Perhaps. I might. It might not. It might take too much concentration. Because they're very small, and I don't have good small art brushes. Because I don't paint much that way with brushes. I paint in a different way, usually with resin. Like even the eyes that I did, I might do some with the Inktense pencils because it's like it's hard to explain. They're not like regular pencils. They're very expensive. It's more pigment. And you can layer and layer the pigment. And I'm already missing one. I was pretty pissed when I opened it and there was one missing. My white's gone and I need the white for blending. So I'm pretty pissed about that. But I used like a little water and a paintbrush. And I sealed it. And now I'm going to put some UV resin to make the eyeball pop up, I'm going to try that next. I got to go get my UV lamp, though. I need to know Tamori's TikTok so I can see what's going on over there and if anyone's talking about it over there. Yeah, these are good watercolor pencils. And where do you see the other one? I think I got another pastel that I would recommend. I highly recommend these ones. Let me see. This camera's kind of... Oh, I got to put it back on. Inktense blocks. You ever hear of those? The pastel blocks. These are good. Good shit. You can mix them with water. You can scrape them off like with a razor blade. They work really well that way. Scrape the powder and then use the pigment. You can even put this on fabric. I bought these originally for fabric because I could draw on the fabric anything I want to draw, and then like you can seal it in with an iron and it doesn't come off. It's a great pigment. No, I haven't used or heard of that. Yeah, I'm a bit of that. I do a little of everything because the fucking ADD's out of control, and then I'm like, all right, I have to try this, I have to try that, and then before I know it, I have 20 things started. And that's the problem. I'm not sure. I haven't tried it, so I wouldn't know if it's spelled correctly. A watercolor would be cool. Most of the stuff I do is more dimensional, like everything I do when I think about it. The one thing I haven't really spent a lot of time in is regular watercolor. I've only experimented a little. Like flat stuff, you know. Ooh, what's that? Ooh, there's somebody on YouTube that does it? Interesting. I might go hit that up after this loads when I end. Oh, somebody just... She has 1,156 sock accounts on social media. Ha! Wait, somebody sent me her channel. Oh, okay. I think you guys already know that. It's ISYBW5061. I don't think there's any point in me posting it, but let me try. Let me see if it works. I don't know if I'm still on StreamYard. Oh, I am. Well, what do you know? Let's see if this works. Wait, why does it say meth head, Tamori? Oh, maybe that's the girl exposes her. Okay, there's a girl allegedly that exposes her. I hope that link works. Hey, Crispy Treat, you just got a membership today. I think you were one of the ones because I gifted my 10. We're just about ending. This was absolutely wild, so I've been kind of streaming all day because this is my second stream. The first stream was part 2 to my yesterday stream. Again, on Bree Powers, the Psycho Chick. And then today we did the P. press conference, and then we went right to the sheriff one, the sheriff in court. So check out, if you didn't see the P. one, go to the beginning of this right when I'm ending, and I'm ending right now. It's absolute, you wouldn't even believe it unless you see it. Girl who exposes her plays Tamori's TikTok lives. All right, I might check that out after. Well, I'm going to go head out and do something productive because I've been on this bitch way too long today. And leave you all to explore the YouTubes. I might check out some of the Tamori shit. I thank y'all for chilling and hanging out. I had fun chilling with y'all. And I will see you later. Have a good evening.